Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Our next guest has introduced a bill that would lift the statute of limitations on rape and sexual assault cases. And with us now, Senator Connie Leyva, to talk about SB 813. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, Leslie. How are you?
Hi. What prompted you to introduce this bill?
Because I had no idea that there was actually a statute of limitation on rape. So to me, it seemed like justice should have no time limit, and we should introduce a bill taking that away.
And it's something that varies from state to state.
That is correct. Actually, we've seen kind of a trend or a movement in states either trying to eliminate the statute of limitation or extending it out. California is 10 years. Some states have gone out 20 or 30 years.
Why do you think it needs to be extended?
Well, basically because there should be no time limit on justice. And I think that many women are raped at a point in their life when they're young, maybe in their 20s, maybe in college, and they don't have the confidence to come forward because most victims are made to feel that somehow it was their fault. And then maybe they get a little more confident, they're in their 40s, maybe someone has encouraged them to come forward, but the time limit has expired and they cannot come forward. So.
Now, this is something we are hearing discussed a lot in the Bill Cosby case. Dozens of women coming forward saying they were sexually assaulted by him years ago. Does this have anything to do with that, or is this just how you learned that there is no statute of limitation?
It's completely coincidental. The timing is really a little bit ironic. It was brought to me from the Women's Law Center, the ones that brought me the idea and let me know that there was not a limitation, that there was a limit on the statute. And the Bill Cosby issue is completely separate. Really, he has notoriety, so those victims will have a little more notoriety. I want to make sure that every victim is spoken for.
Let's talk about the need for this and the reporting and the underreporting of cases. What is some of the information that you've learned as you've gone through the process of introducing this bill?
So what I've learned is that 1 in 6 women will either have an attempted rape or be raped in their lifetime. And of the rapists out there, only 2 out of 100 are ever prosecuted. So those numbers were really staggering to me and quite stunning.
How would this have an effect moving forward, do you think, if this is passed?
You know, what I would hope is no one is ever raped accidentally. So what I would hope is that maybe someone who is thinking about forcing themselves on someone would think that this is going to hang over me for the rest of my life. And at some point, I'm going to have to pay for what I've done. And I hope that it would give women, empower them to come forward when they feel able to. It's not always as soon as we would like, but when they feel able, they can come forward.
There's a list of people who support this bill. Who would be against it? Which groups would be against it?
We are in a great position right now. We have had no opposition. No one has come out and said that they oppose it, so we're kind of excited about that.
What about people who say, you know, bad faith, people who just want to accuse you, make your life miserable, falsely accused people? How is this going to affect
So
that?
This bill, if it were signed into law, would not change the burden of proof. So the burden of proof would be exactly the same. So if someone is falsely accused, there's no evidence, we would think that the DA wouldn't bring it forward.
But over time, that burden of proof, it seems, would shift more to the victim because any kind of evidence would be lost or, you know, unavailable.
I think that is true. I think that it would still, again, go to the burden of proof, and maybe 20 years later when the victim comes forward, it may be a little harder to prove, but the victim would then have the chance to pursue justice. And I don't think the DA would take it if they thought they had a losing case.
Okay. Senator Connie Leyva, we appreciate you bringing this to our attention, and
thank you.
We'll watch as it goes through in this new year.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you for joining us as well. I'm Leslie Leyton.